All right, welcome back, guys. Game number 2 for the IEM San Jose. I guess I was going to say qualifiers because it just rolls off my tongue. I've been saying qualifiers for the last month after all. But this is actually IEM San Jose, guys. So, spawning in the top left corner of the map, if you can believe it, he's down 1 in this series. I give you the blue Terran player, Bomber. Okay.
And in the 6:30 position? No, wait. 6 o'clock position.
Well, how would 6:30 work? Like, you spawn here, but your pylon's over here on the right side or something? Like,
I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, technically it would be 6:30. We have the red Protoss on CJ Entis. We have herO.
What I hate is you're actually correct. This actually is more accurate to say 6:30 than 6 o'clock position.
Yeah, it's true.
Because the big hand, yeah, you'd have to be pointing.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Okay, well,
suck it, Rifkin.
Welcome to Base Trade TV's House of Clocks. Now you all know how. All right, silliness aside, guys. Bomber, you know, he's a good player. We could hail him all day, but like, man, that was impressive out of herO. It might seem like it's easy to just apply a little bit of pressure to a Terran player, but a lot of what he did relied on timings. As Kane pointed out last game, like that attack started with 4 gates. If he had waited till he had 8 or the economy 4-8, like that may not have actually hit at a time where it was going to catch Bomber so drastically off guard. But I think one of the biggest weaknesses to that map, that I'm not sure this really hurt Bomber. I mean, he did have to spend 2 bunkers in the back, covering his back door. He didn't really know where the attack was going to come from at first, so definitely a little bit caught off guard. And that's why I think when you watch like TVP, here we go with the Reaper. Actually, I really like this one. This is exactly what I was going to allude to. Jokshi's always my favorite player to reference for this because I don't think there's a single Terran player out there who does it better than him. You know, he's so good at hiding his first SCV to scout at the 5-minute mark and then bringing the Reaper in for the 6-minute, 7-minute scout. And it's so critical you do this so that you know exactly what's coming, whether it's going to be a big blink build or maybe they just go towards faster Colossus. Either way, the idea with this Reaper, maybe get a kill if you can, but more importantly, see what your opponent's doing.
Yeah, it's so important in StarCraft in general just to know, kind of be able to predict what your opponent will do within the next couple minutes. So I do like this Reaper move as well. The Reaper's going to intercept to sell it here, or maybe vice versa, but of course the Reaper does have more micro potential, so the Zealot will die, so that's a nice little start for Bomber here.
Yeah, herO was going to send it the Zealot stock Mothership Core. This is a classic poke that comes all the way from, like, minus the Mothership Core from like Wings of Liberty. You know, these 2 units would come early, and if you didn't have a bunker as a Terran player, if you went CC first, it was almost an auto lose sometimes. We actually see Bomber completely cancel the CC. Like, if anything, he'll probably rebuild this on the high ground. Yeah, there we go. Because he knows he doesn't want to have to deal with this. He doesn't have the units to stop all this damage. In fact, even with these Marines producing, he doesn't actually technically have enough to deal with the Mothership Core alone, much less any other unit. He's going to have to pull some SCVs.
Ooh. Yeah, Bomber's already taking economic damage from this just by pulling those. So what looked like it was going to be a good start for Bomber, intercepting that Zealot, kind of turned out to be a bad start.
The Marine Corps is going to hop in that bunker as soon as they can here. The Reaper as well, because it's just low on health. With the SCV starting to fall back, this might look a little bit better. There we go, as he does defend the top of his ramp. This did get messy, though.
Yeah. 5 workers down and lost mining time, too.
Yeah. And keep in mind, for hero's sake, like, you know, there's still Nexus coming up behind it. He's on 21 workers. Like, this wasn't really that big of a detriment. This delays his robo. It's probably the most, quote-unquote, hurt he receives from going out this early. So, definitely getting his money's worth out of this attack. These Marines, by the way, so low. They're like, if they leave the bunker, they're screwed.
hero's trying to pick off the low health SCVs. That's really cute, but doesn't look like he'll get any. Bomber's kind of predicting him to do that, so he's keeping his Marines near his mineral line just to be safe.
Man, these 1 health, not just like low, but like 1 health, 3 health, like these are completely within 1-shot range. But while this is going on, the Reaper's going to try and move out. I don't actually know if he saw herO withdrawing with that hop there, but he will here in a moment. There we go. It's a bit of ease
so
of
again,
mind. Yeah.
Things are looking pretty good for herO again, though, right? Like, that was a nice start for him, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a good way to get ahead in this game, in the early game, but as we know with StarCraft 2, it's very easy to throw a lead. So.
Yeah, very easy, yeah. And especially against somebody like Bomber, who is... I guarantee he's been in this situation before. He kind of knows what he has to do to get back in this game. Not that he's out of the game or anything like that, but to, you know, further his chances, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a scenario where, like, again, like, if Bomber can get to those 3 bases, that's where, like, my confidence for him to win a game just rises and soars significantly. But Yo,
And not only your confidence, his confidence too. He's so good in that scenario, man.
it really, like, it almost sounds like I'm joking, but realistically, I mean, you look at most of the times Bomber wins. Not only does he win, but, like, he makes it always look easy when he's in those sort of spots, no matter who he's playing against. I think a great example of this with, like, every TVT. Lose 8 medevacs? No problem, I'm Bomber.
Yeah. He doesn't care.
But okay, so we got a War Prism actually coming out here. Of course, this is going to work out really nicely because there's the Robo follow-up to it. It's not like he's going for some weird gateway all in where he wants to warp into the main, but if there's one thing in the world, in this matchup in particular, that's good at saying, Bomber, you're staying at home, it's a Warp Prism. Just the threat of this thing being around. 400 minerals invested into 4 Zealots is the best stay-at-home investment you could ever make. Because if Bomber never pushes, herO gets to get away with everything.
You know what he's going to do, though, right? Colossus drop.
I was gonna say, we're gonna go Puck Micro. Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, we're gonna see some Colossus drops here, boys.
Actually, it's funny you bring that up. There's a match I cast not too long ago, Puck versus Bomber, where he actually did that. Polar Knight. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
So, he almost won too.
Bomber's seen this before, then, right?
Yeah. If this is actually, I think, you know what? I thought this was a joke, but I think that's actually what he's gonna do.
No, it's absolutely what he's gonna do. Yeah.
Oh, who was it?
Absolutely.
Was it Stardust? No, someone did this recently.
It was in a tournament as well. It was in the WCS finals.
Yeah.
I think it was Son, maybe.
Maybe.
I
know.
I know he did it at least once.
Well, the thing is, the reason this becomes so effective, guys, the Warp Prism is so naturally fast, and on top of this, he's gone for the speed boost on it. So, I mean, this is like an extra fast moving Colossus, basically. Marines get shredded as we see, and if this gets here, he just picks up.
Oh,
unless
okay,
unless he doesn't.
He lost a little bit of health, but that's okay.
He actually didn't get any workers with that, though, oddly enough, just mostly the Marines there, so.
But still, he got 9 Marines, or
yeah.
something. That's still a nice pick off, for sure.
That's a funny way to show some flair, too.
He's gonna get this, yeah. He's gonna get that Reaper.
Well, as he comes back towards the main, I mean, this is a little bit hectic for Bomber. His best case scenario, obviously, catch the Warp Prism before the Colossus, but you know, with the amount of bio he has, this Colossus does have to be careful. This is not an extended thermal lens Colossus just yet.
Bomber's trying to drop the medevac boost and get the Marines underneath the Colossus, but herO's not going to let that happen. And Bomber is moving across the map right now with these 2 medevacs. But at home, herO has a couple sentries, a Colossus. It's going to be 2 Colossus probably. So I think he should be fine.
I don't know, there's some rare scenarios where, like, I've been seeing players like Major just drag and drop, and that spread with early game damage is good enough to kill a Colossus in the right scenario. But you're right, like, this is a lot for herO. Like, Bomber can't just blindly go in and hope for the best. Like, he has to control perfectly if he wants to take any sort of fight.
Yep. And we do have double upgrades for herO. Right now, I think we only have 1 upgrade going for Bomber. Yeah. But it is a little bit ahead, so he won't be that far behind.
Plus the sentry kills, can't say it's going to be the best case, but if he gets this Colossus, that's going to be really nice.
Oh, that is nice for, yeah, that's nice for Bomber right there, getting that one. Do you think that was worth it, though? He lost quite a few units.
It's really hard to say, because at the same time, like, does herO care? I mean, he's just Colossus dropping back on the other side of the map. With the Vikings coming out, he'll finally clean this up. Whether that was an effective trade, I'd say if he didn't get the sentry and the Colossus, then maybe it's, like, even at best. But picking off that sentry was, like, icing on the cake, right?
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
but
that makes
still,
sense.
losing a Colossus in the other game sucks. Because the problem is, like, usually you do come to fights with 1 Colossus shot. You know, 3 Colossus don't cut it, but 4 would have. You know, the Vikings are usually just barely enough damage before they get taken down. So we'll have to see what the actual next fight comes to be. Because it could be within the next 3 minutes, or it could be the next 10 minutes. It depends how passive each of these guys want to play. I mean, Bomber's moving towards another command center. herO has not yet thrown down an Nexus, but it looks like he wants to.
Yeah, he cancelled it. He was making one at the base above his main, but he did cancel it. I don't know what made him cancel it, though. He saw something that we didn't.
The fear of drops.
The fear of Bomber.
But all jokes aside, that very well may have actually been the case, because he doesn't really have enough units to defend against drops. I mean, you always hear casters talk about it, and the idea, like, behind this, guys, you have to split your units, as we see. Like, you're never going to have this one consolidated death ball on the defense, because Bomber's never going to just be A-moving you. He's going to be dropping from the left while he attacks up the right, and you have to make sure you're split perfectly, or else you'll lose one of those fights.
Yeah, Bomber, somebody like Bomber knows how to abuse positions on this map. He knows how to abuse those cliffs. So yeah, herO just wants to be safe, wants to make sure that he's well defended, and just kind of get out that army and then expand.
That Marine was booking it. He saw that Zealot and stimmed way the hell away. I do like that hero's still being active on the map, though. So while he is kind of, it appears to be turtling up, he's really just setting up all these counterattack potentials. I mean, the best case for herO to attack is not to fight this army head-on, but to draw it back, to wait for Bomber to leave the base and then warp into the mineral lines, and then send a couple of zealots through that main. Whether that'll actually be the case or not, we'll have to see, because again, neither of these players, there's not a ton of vision. You know, Bomber's very blind coming into this game. He's making great predictions. herO doesn't have a lot of observers out. I mean, it's surprisingly just there's no information for either player. You never see this.
This is looking scary for Bomber, though. herO has 4 Colossus. He has 2-2 done. He has charge done on those zealots. Ooh, this is looking really scary for Bomber. I would be creaming my pants right now if I were herO.
Okay, as weird as that got, the 2-2 is actually a great point. Armor upgrades are just phenomenal when you're fighting against Bio. You're going to have the Guardian Shield that reduce damages by 2. You're going to have the armor upgrades that'll make these Marines shoot like pea shooters. I mean, it's really the Vikings that are the biggest threat here. If the Colossus are removed, Bio can clean up that Stalker force pretty easily. But that's a pretty big if, because it's not as easy as just simply sending the units in to fight. I'm surprised Bomber's getting so scared, though, of these Stalkers.
Yeah, I mean, hero's controlling really well as well. He's making sure not to lose anything and just picking off what he can before the engagement happens. That's really smart. Any small advantages in these battles can turn out to be a big advantage. It snowballs so fast sometimes.
Okay, well, Bomber sees this Warp Prism, so he's going to pounce on this as quickly as possible. This is something that could have gone quite poorly. It does draw the Vikings out of position, though, for this fight. However, with this chasm, they may be able to get around the Stalkers. Oh, it's going to be a very awkward engagement for Bomber, no matter how he decides to take this, because those Stalkers are going to do a great job of guarding the Colossus, but trying to pick this off, gets one, and I mean, it's still for nothing, that blink.
Yeah, and hero's not expanding either. This is, well, now he is, as soon as I say that, but this is like a pretty dedicated attack right now. Because Bomber's third CC is already done, it's already planted there.
Yeah. I think this is definitely one of those things where like the best defense is a good offense. I mean,
look at Bomber's natural though.
He's pulled.
Bomber's natural.
Well, he's under attack, but he's also pulled the SCVs into the fight, so he's going gung ho on this. He wants to take a good battle. SCVs are stuck a little bit behind the infantry though. This battle. Kane, everything's getting sniped off in the air right now. The Colossus are falling pretty quickly. The Stalkers are blinking forward to catch this, but the SCVs again still stuck in the back. They're not soaking the hits. What? There's no point to pull these if they can't soak damage. And
the Colossus are still alive even after all the Vikings go down. So now hero's in a great position.
Bomber,
yeah. GG.
hero's gonna take the series 2-0.
What happened there?
What happened there was like the SCV pull was cool but useless.
Yeah, like they were all trapped at the back, and then hero, like the Colossus didn't die fast enough, so they were still shooting at everything, and just that splash damage. And the 2-2 upgrades versus, I think Bomber had 1-1 with maybe 2-1 almost done, or maybe it was done, but either way, when Protoss is ahead on upgrades like that, it gets so scary.
Well, I think one of the other things too, like herO was doing a fantastic job of picking off like one Viking at a time and losing nothing for it. So I mean, Bomber came to that fight like down 4 Vikings before it even began. Those Vikings depleted way before the Colossus. The idea is like in a perfect scenario, they trade each other out. By the time you've shot that lost Colossus down, usually you're out of Vikings. We've only got 2 left in the air. Didn't even come close to being like that.
Yeah, hero's control